Today I'm looking at an Astra. This one's got a long crank. I've already been out to it and I know what's wrong with it, but I'm going to show you how I tested it in case you've got the same problem. It will start. It's got a long crank, but it does start. And the fault code is for the, well, there's a few of them, but the one that we're addressing today is the intake camshaft. So I'll go and look at that and show you how I tested it. Got the intake camshaft sensor, which is this one, because there's the intake and there's the sensor, 3-wired sensor at the back of it. This one here is the exhaust, because that's the exhaust, but they're the same. You could swap them over, that one, and there's the intake. I've got you in the view there. I got a T-pin in it, so I'm going to go through the wires. There's 3 wires. We'll have 5-volt power. Let's see that. 5-volt supply, and then we're going to have a ground and a signal. So if I move the pin, I'll just do that with both hands. First one was the top wire, now I'm in the middle wire. And we've got a ground. That's the power and the ground. Now I'm going to go to the bottom wire and show you what we've got there. Might have to do that with 2 hands again. Now I'm in the bottom wire. I'm going to turn the buzzer off on this. So I'm using the power scan by Hotel. So the buzzer's turned off. So now when I check it, it's changing. That's the signal. So I'm going to put it onto the next option. Was this will show us like a scope almost. If I can get this to stay on there. There we go. You see that? It's only, see on the max, it's only going up to 2 volts. You got 0 as the low, 2 volts for the max and the high, but it's switching. And that's the teeth. As the camshaft's going, the teeth on the camshaft going past the sensor, that's what we're seeing in that screen there. But it's only going up to 2 volts. I'm going to show you what it looks like if we unplug it. I'll just switch the car off. That's it disconnected from the sensor. It's just hanging there. I had to use this pick to help get it off. But what I wanted to show you was that wire has 4.9, roughly 5 volts on the signal wire. And that's coming from the engine ECU, which is over there. 4.9, so that's where we get the power for this wire, and then the sensor will take that voltage and take it over to 0, or it'll stay at 4.9 as it's switching back in 2. So the reason it's got 2 volts is because it's a faulty sensor, so we're going to put a new one on it that I've got here and do the same test again. It should be switching 0 to 5 volts. Even though it's switching, it's not correct, and we know the wire's okay because we've got the 5 volts coming all the way from here on the signal, which is the bottom one, the bottom wire, the blue one, not the supply. This is 5 volts on the supply, but I mean when it's unplugged, there's also 5 volts on the signal coming from the engine ECU. So we've checked that we've got the 5 volts there. It's just when it's running, it's only 2 volts. So I'll put the new one in and see what happens. With the new sensor, it's got an E10 bolt, like an inverted Torx that holds it. And I've set this back up to see what the signal looks like now. Just going to start it. Hopefully it starts quicker than last time. Yeah, it starts straight away. So I think we're onto something. Actually, the engine light, it's still on, so I might have to clear the fault, but it's certainly starting better. So now onto the signal wire with this. See, now it's going all the way up to 5 volts and down to 0. So that's how you could test it. Another way of testing it, I suppose, is to switch it with that one and see if the fault changes. But if you did want to know how to test it with something like this, power scan with a built-in scope, it lets you do it all, and using a T-pin, and the only other thing I needed was a hook so I could get the connector off because it was awkward, but hopefully that's helpful to somebody. Thanks for watching.